I know a lot of you guys are going to click off because, it's not about how I made $60,000 or whatever day trading futures. And even if you do click on one of those videos, 99.99% of the time, those are all fake. Every one of them, they're all fake. Sorry, but they're all fake. I've been trading for 4 years. It'll be 4 years in a month or two. And let me tell you, from a pretty seasoned trader at this point, that trading is not easy. It's not something that you can just get rich quick doing. Let me tell you that much. It's super hard and really emotionally draining. But what we're looking at here is my live account with my real money. This is real, the $1,500. Like, yeah, it's not a lot of money, but this is money that I saved up and put into my account because I've been feeling good about my trading. I've been feeling that my head's in a good place to take it to a live environment. And the first 2 trading days, they've been tough. Like, I've hit daily drawdown on both of the days, but I've set up risk parameters and risk mitigation tactics to prevent me blowing up, because that's we've all been there. But yeah, my broker locks me out when I hit minus $60. So I've hit minus $60 twice, once Friday, and the file for that video got corrupted, so I couldn't review that day. But as you can see, we're just about minus 120. And how am I feeling? It's obviously very difficult. Yet today, I'll be honest, it was really frustrating because I couldn't get anything to go Friday. And then today, I saw the trades, but I just didn't take them. We've all been there. It's definitely tough, but what do I do about this? Like, how do I fix this? How do we get through this? It all boils down to accepting, no matter any trade, I don't care what the setup is, you have to accept the amount of risk you're taking for each trade. Because no trade, no matter the setup, no matter how good the setup is, there's no guarantees that trade is going to be a winner. And obviously, my head's a bit foggy and I'm not taking the best setups. And I've been hesitating quite a bit. So that's showing up in the P&L. And when you go through stuff like this, it's only 2 daily drawdown days, which isn't a huge deal. Like, we can come back from this, but it's important to talk about, how difficult this is. Like, if you watching this video right now are 6 months into your journey and you're thinking to yourself, maybe next year I'll get my first payout, or maybe by the end of this year I'll get my first payout, or maybe you're just starting trading. Take it from me, someone that has been full-time trading for the better part, I want to say full-time, about 2.5 years, and then I have been active in the futures market for going on 4 years. Let me tell you straight up, if you're expecting this to be, a year-long learning curve, it's not. And unless you have professional help, those people that, sell courses, the fake gurus, the people that say they're making $10,000 a day or, whatever, those guys, they don't make that much money. They're making money off of selling courses to you guys. It's not real. The people that actually make money in these markets, they're not the big YouTubers. They're not. The big YouTubers are big YouTubers. They're not traders. But regardless, so that's what we're dealing with. But yeah, you guys, this is gonna take some time. This is gonna take a lot of time, and it's still gonna take me more time, even though I'm going on 4 years. And that's the reality of it. And there's no shortcuts. You have to make these errors. You have to take losses. You have to accept your risk. You have to be able to think like a trader. And when I say think like a trader, I mean you have to think of every single trade that you put on. It just simply boils down to there's a probability that this trade could work, but it's only a probability. And you track your statistics, and you may know what those stats are, and say it's 60% that this trade should be a winner. Well, if you take that trade and it doesn't work, that's just simply an element of randomness in the market. There's no guarantee that these trades are going to work. The only thing that you can do as a trader is not hesitate, manage your stop, and manage your profit. That's really the only thing that you have control over in these markets, because the market is just a neutral being that goes up and it goes down, and there's people buying it and there's people selling it, and for all different types of reasons on all different types of time frames. And you just have to align yourself with that movement. And it's when you look at a chart in hindsight, you can see, even maybe with your system, you can see I should be shorting here, I should be getting long here. And we all wish it were that easy. We really do. But anyways, let's take a look at some trades from today. Okay, so this is a higher time frame setup. I believe it is a 5-minute bullish to bearish moment. We're trying to get long in these 90s, which I do believe was an A+ setup. I can't recall if this is a winner or a loser. You'll be able to keep track of my P&L here in the bottom right, and then this is my position that I'm waiting to get filled at this 90.25. And I do believe it's a stop out, but ultimately I think the trade goes in my favor. Alright, so we're long here at the 90 quarter, and we're looking to play this back up into these 97s. I'll probably take one. I would probably take one off at this 93.50. Oh, this is that one trade where I accidentally took it off. Alright, so that was a $6 winner. We're trading micros, by the way, because we have to our account size is pretty small, so we have to trade smaller products. Let's go. I know that I get back into this trade relatively quick. Alright, so we're long the 90 quarter again. And now, alright, so let's look at this. We've got some selling coming into my position here. I should immediately be recognizing that and looking to potentially take this trade off until we start to take these sellers out and start to trap them. But for whatever reason, I'm not thinking clearly about this, and I decide to hold on to the position, I believe. So we're long this 90.25, and it's going against me very clearly. I should be trying to go for a break even at this point. Could have had my break even there, because obviously there's sellers at my entry that keep on selling a bid. And ultimately it's going to come and stop me out. And we had clear signs before we ultimately got stopped out that this trade wasn't working. But it was a tough day, man. I was not clear on the market, and it came back and it bit me in the ass. And to be quite honest, it was really hard to bring myself to review today and confront myself about this. And this is real shit, you guys. Like, I'm gonna as open and transparent as possible with you guys. Is trading so freaking hard, man. And being able to confront yourself at the end of the day and talk about how you failed to adhere to your rules is one of the most difficult things you guys will do. And if you guys aren't doing this type of work that I'm doing right now and going back and look at your trades, a hard reality, you're probably not going to make it. You're probably not going to make it through this learning curve. and that just is what it is. And as much as this is a confrontation towards me, it's also a confrontation to whoever is watching this. You guys need to be reviewing your trades, tagging your trades, code Sean 5% off, and doing everything that you can to, you know, decrease this learning curve. Because if you just keep repeating the same exact thing and not understanding where your pitfalls are, like, what's the definition of insanity? Is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different positive result. You know, guys, but yeah, we take that stop loss, and we can kind of see what happens next. And also, now that I have the market profile showed up, I'll make a video about this, by the way, but my idea is that we should be going up to the long side and filling this gap, this black area between this yellow line and then this red line, mainly because we opened up I think it was like 50 points below Friday's range. So unless we're in a very, very bearish market, typically the market will come up and test this value from Friday. And we did end up getting that just later in the session, but that's kind of what I was playing for. I was trying to get into this long. But anyways, just some context. Alright, so as you can see here, after I've already been stopped out, you can kind of see what happened in post. You know, we came down, we did take out these 90s, which was a higher time frame imbalance, and then we did support this imbalance from earlier on the lower time frame, and now we're starting to trade back up in those 90s. And then we do take out these sell side imbalances here. And, you know, this is when I should be looking to get long, like maybe a retest of 91 would have worked, or even there would have worked. And so I am trying to get long. All right, so here's another trade. I'm trying to get long this 91 quarter, which isn't a bad trade at all. But it looks like I didn't get filled by a tick. And this is also another thing that is very, very frustrating about trading, is you're not always going to get the fill that you want. You're not always going to be filled at the price that you want. And that builds up. Every single day you come in with a fuse, and, you know, every single time something irritating or you take a loss, that fuse is burning and burning. And at the end of it is a firework. And if you don't nip that fuse and put out that fuse by whatever it is, like taking a walk, or like just stop trading, turn off the screens for a while, breathe, meditate, whatever, eventually that fuse is going to get to that firework and you're going to explode. And these type of things, they add to that fuse, they shorten that fuse, and I didn't get filled. And this was, you know, kind of the beginning of what was inevitably a drawdown day, and which was a great trade. I mean, it was a great trade. We trapped out some shorts here. We had some nice open longs, We also created a low volume area on the profile, and it was a A+ trade. And, you know, it didn't get filled, and that's quite frustrating. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You just can't hold these things in. You have to let them go. It's just a trade. It's just a trade. There's always a probability that you won't get filled. There's always a probability that you do get filled and then it blows you out. And there's always a probability that it goes straight to target. And there's no way to know really what is going to happen in that moment. But anyways, we don't take a trade for another 20 minutes, so let's fast forward here. Okay, here's another trade. So this blue box here is a higher time frame imbalance zone, whether it be supply or demand. I'm pretty sure it's demand, but I marked it with this blue box here, and I'm supposed to be getting long in this area. And some of you may know from watching my first videos that typically I don't want to get short in front of a very large down move like this, but the overall story today is long, and I have this idea that we're going to go and fill that gap that I was talking about earlier on the profile, the market profile. And, you know, so it's okay to be a bit more aggressive with longs, but here you're going to watch me hesitate, and I'm hovering my price, this 97. You know, we're starting to see some good buying here, and I don't take it, and you're going to watch it immediately go, which once again, it is what it is, but, you know, we never see that price again, and then it's going to run off without me. And once again, this is adding to that frustration that builds up throughout the day. It can really, really press you. And so once again, I missed a trade. Okay, so we missed a trade. I'm going to go back here. I don't recall what exactly this was. All right, so it looks like I'm trying to play a continuation short setup, because we rejected the highs, and we also filled a low volume area that I was certain should have held. Obviously nothing's certain, but in order to keep that uptrend, I really wanted to see that hold, but so we didn't. We ended up not seeing it hold. So I was thinking, all right, I should be able to potentially get a scalp trade to the downside, continuation trade. And I'm not actually too upset about this trade. This is a pretty good trade. But unfortunately, well, actually, this entry is atrocious, you guys. 750? 750 is a horrible entry here. It's nowhere inside my red box that I drew on the higher time frame. And we've also got sellers here. Like, if I'm taking this trade, I have to be taking it here. Never mind, this is a bad trade. I'm getting stopped out where I should be getting short. So, in a universe where I'm following my trade system correctly, I should be short now, which I'm pretty sure I do get stopped out, but let's see. Oh no, I would have been fine. Once again, didn't adhere to my rules, so not following the system, and the trade would have worked. That is eating away at my fuse, and I'm, you know, a bit angry at this point. I'm trying to keep my cool. I was in the live stream, and this was the point where I kind of stopped narrating what I was doing, because I was kind of, there was a lot of people in the live stream today, so I was kind of nervous. Yeah, it was hard to keep my cool. And what am I doing here? Am I short 89 again? Yeah, I'm short 89 again, which isn't a terrible trade. This is a better entry, but this time, you know, this is just the, you know, an element of probability that, you know, we get blown out here. And I'm not too terribly upset with this trade, to be honest with you. But, I mean, at this point, I should probably be trying to kill it. Yeah, see, now we've got demand here coming in up at these highs of this red box. You don't want to see that. So I should just, you know, take a, you know, a smaller loser, or go for a break even, do something, because this trade clearly isn't working out. See, I should be trying to take that break even now, but let's see, I'm still trying to hold it. See, we got buyers coming in, still short that 89 quarter. Looks like it is going in my favor. Oh, I guess this trade was a winner. And analyzing why it was a winner, we do have trapped longs here. This is still a supply zone. You know, we did get that demand showing up. Like, we saw some buyers coming in, but we didn't. Yeah, they came in, but sellers then rinsed them out. But like, just seeing it, we didn't have a candle close with an imbalance to the long side. We didn't have that, but you know, I did see it, and I was kind of thinking that we could blow this out, but turns out it was a win. It wasn't a great win though. It was an okay trade. It was like probably a B tier trade. And then, you know, we flip, and you know, we take out this red box, and then we fill this gap. All right, so we have a trade incoming. Looks like I'm probably trying to get long here. I mark it long, and one thing that I'm noticing is we have pretty good amount of selling going on up here at these highs. I'm trying to play a continuation long setup at this 209, get long with these buyers, but obviously we've got this 248, this 139, this 50, a lot of selling going on, and I didn't really wait for a candle to close or wait for any more demand to show up in the market. I just kind of take it, and then it rinses me out immediately, just about. We do see some demand in, they're getting rinsed, and then they take my stop. So now I'm down $35 and I'm getting close to that liquidation because I've taken quite a bit of trades, so fees are building up at this point. So here I do believe I'm going long, and we're in this range, and I'm just trying to get long with this, what is this? Just get long with this demand. It's not beautiful by any means. It's an okay trade. I mean, we kind of have mean advantage, but we do have these sellers kind of pressing us. This is like a C trade. I mean, we had value area low. We had kind of had mean advantage, not really. But yeah, that was just a mid-tier trade. There wasn't much confluence. That's one thing you always want to have. You want to have multiple things pointing to whatever direction you're trying to trade in. You want to have a lot of things saying, yeah, we should take this trade. And I didn't really have that. I had two things. I had, the value area of this current range, and then the fact that we were trading in it for a while. But, the more and more that these ranges trade on, the more and more likely they're going to blow out. And that just so happened to be the time that it blew out. And speaking of blowing out, that is when I was liquidated from taking any more trades. So that is the review. What can I do to improve this, and what are some key takeaways? Some key takeaways is, one, I've noticed that, at least historically, I've done a lot better at trading NQ, and I wanted to be an ES trader for a long time, and I was trying to stick to ES as my main product, but I think I'm going to switch to NQ for a while because, ES, there's a lot of volume traded in ES, and what I notice is, as far as order flow goes, it's very hard to gauge the strength of a move because there's a lot, at least to me, it seems like there's a lot of manipulation and a lot of uncertainty about moves. And at least for me, NQ, I can kind of get a feel for it a little bit more. And, historically, I've had a lot more success on NQ. I've passed more combines on NQ. I've even was eligible for a payout on trading NQs before. And it's not like a money thing, oh, you can make more money on NQ. It's just, I'll make a video about it, going in detail about why I think that, and show you on the order flow. I'll show you in order flow why I think that NQ's a little bit easier to trade if you're a footprint type of guy. But yeah, so I'm gonna probably switch over to NQ for a bit. ES it's a difficult market, man. It's a difficult market to trade, and yeah, I'm gonna switch to NQ for a little bit. And the trades, I can't exactly say that I was very clear about my trading today. I was very hesitant. I was nervous. I was trading in front of a lot of people, and I was also very tired. I wasn't well rested. I had to take my mom to do a bunch of errands early in the morning. And, I was kind of pissed going into the day. And these things matter. If you don't get enough sleep and, you go into the market kind of angry, that can really, eat away at that fuse that I was talking about. Yeah, that is what it is. But you guys, if you are interested in trading on the same platform that I do, which is Quantower, it is hands down my favorite trading platform. Great for order flow, great for price action, great for profiling. You know, if you identify with my type of style of trading, I highly recommend it. I have a link in the description that will land you 15% off on your monthly payments. So feel free to click that link in the description, save yourself some money, and help your boy out as well. Also, TRADECRAFT, it's so important. I can't stress it enough to you guys. You guys have to be reviewing and tagging these trades, or you will not make it. And I cannot recommend TRADECRAFT enough. Once again, code Sean, 5% off. But anyways, that is the review for you guys. All we can do is do better tomorrow, sharpen up that trading psychology, and just keep going, you guys. Don't give up.